The English colonies. The English colonies. The previous section described the Spanish exploration of the Americas. Remember that Spain earned a great deal of wealth from the Americas. Most of this wealth came from taking Native Americans' silver and gold. They chose to dominate. England did just the opposite of Spain. England did not get much gold and silver from its land claims in North America. In the late 1500s, Queen Elizabeth of England hoped that setting up colonies in North America would gain wealth for England. A colony is a place that is settled by a group of people and governed by the country from which the people came. England wanted to save its wealth or gain wealth by using its colonies in three ways. Their solution to their economic problem was to move groups of people to the New World. They hoped, by being able to buy natural resources for less money from the colonies, that they would be able to save money. They hoped that by being able to collect taxes because of increased trade with colonists, they would be able to gain wealth. They hoped by selling more of its goods to the colonies that England would be able to create jobs and make more money for selling these goods, to the colonists. In the 1500s, Queen Elizabeth changed the rules for claiming colonies. She declared that the right to claim land in North America should depend on a country's ability to have permanent colonies there. According to Queen Elizabeth, if a country was unable to keep permanent colonies on the new continent, then it lost its claim to that land. Since Spain had few permanent settlements on the North American continent in the late 1500s, England began to settle permanent colonies in North America. During the 200 years from the late 1500s to the late 1700s, England's rulers and merchants worked very hard to develop colonies in North America and the nearby Caribbean islands. The effect of developing English colonies in America was to produce a great deal of wealth for England, and eventually England became more wealthy than many of its European rivals. But it wasn't easy to start colonies in the New World. There were three failed attempts first to colonize North America. The people who organized the first English colony settlement were not sure what was needed to make a colony in the Americas successful. So England's first three attempts to settle a colony in North America failed. England's first attempt to settle its colonies failed because the settlers were lost at sea and never reached North America. In 1585, a second attempt was made by a group led by Sir Walter Raleigh. Raleigh's colony was started on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina. This colony lasted only 1 year because the colonists did not have enough food and supplies. They were forced to return to England when their food and supplies ran out. So he tried again 2 years later. He led a group of settlers to Roanoke, and he had planned to send a ship with supplies from England to help support this new group. But then the war broke out between England and Spain, so no English ships could make it across the ocean. 3 years later, when an English ship went to go and look for these colonists, they had disappeared. They were gone, and nobody ever discovered what happened to them. It's one of history's great mysteries. Permanent colonies require a lot of financial support to survive. They need money. So the failure of those first three colonies in North America taught England a valuable lesson. It taught them that successful colonies needed three things to survive. First, they needed to find colonists who were willing to travel or move to America. Second, they needed financial support that would allow the new colonists to buy the proper materials like food, clothing, and tools to take to North America with them. Third, the colonies needed good planners. The planners would plan where to build, what to plant, and what jobs each new colonist would do. Because the English government had spent lots of money on the war with Spain, it could not adequately support the starting up of colonies in North America. England needed some way to get the money to start the colonies. The colonies had an economic problem. Their solution? Commercialize the colonies. To solve the problem, King James I decided to commercialize the colonies. Commercialize means to set up a business or a company to make a profit. King James gave the right to settle an English colony in North America to a business called the London Company. The London Company was a company in which many different people invested money. If the company was successful, the investors would earn part of the profit. If the company was not successful, they would lose their money. The London Company expected to make money by establishing colonies in America, so it was willing to invest enough money to support the colony long enough for the colony to become established. In return, the London Company expected to be given part of the profits the colony earned. The colonists understood that their colony had an economic problem and were very grateful that the London Company was willing to support them. The London Company arranged over 100 people to arrive in America in the spring of 1607. The settlers landed along the coast where a large river flowed into the Atlantic Ocean. They called the area in which they landed Virginia. The London Company soon changed its name to the Virginia Company to match the location of the colony. They advertised in order to get more money and more people to want to go to this new colony in Virginia. They named the river the James River, and the first successful settlement was named Jamestown after King James.